Conversations with Jared. Today's what? September 29th, I think? Almost October. You got anything on your mind today?
Going to my therapist.
Yeah? Is that good, or do you look forward to it, or?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, you brought something to show her today, huh?
Yep. Always bring something to show her.
Right. Yep. Keeps it exciting, I guess. So you don't have anything to talk about, really? Nothing on your mind?
Nope. I mean, I have my drum in here, which is ironic.
You do? That thing's probably, it's been so humid, it's probably quite a different animal than it was.
Yeah, it is high pitch.
Here, we'll turn easy down. The dreadlocks and moonlight. Well, so anyways, I don't know. I guess you don't have anything much to talk about. What I was trying to talk about, what I wanted to talk about this week was, like I was telling you yesterday, just the idea that we're symbiotic with our environment, you know, that our bodies aren't independent. That we're actually sort of like one organism of the whole earth, you know, all interconnected, not just spiritually, but even biologically.
Yeah, technically, yeah, in biology, chemistry. We all have atoms.
Right, so, and what separates us, really? We think our skin, but our skin is very porous. Things can get into it and come out of it, and
Physically, we're not attached to the earth, but mentally we are.
you don't think we're physically attached?
No, because if we're physically attached, your feet would be stuck to the ground.
Well, yeah, in that sense, you know, I guess. I mean, that's one level of looking at it. But some people, they practice this thing called earthing, where they take their shoes off, right? And they go in the soil and with bare feet. And the minerals from the earth actually absorb into the bottoms of their soles of their feet. You know, they do it therapeutically, right? So that's what I mean. In that sense, like, we aren't really independent biologically, even the air we breathe, you know? So I don't know, I was just thinking, well, you know how like all those commercials for the different medications, you know, especially like the psychiatric medications for depression and stuff, all of them have side effects of potentially causing people to have suicidal thoughts. So if you think about like how you can take a pill and it can cause you to have suicidal thoughts, and then that's how people experience themselves, right? That becomes their sort of reality.
On the dark side, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, imagine if a pill could do that. What about the food we eat, or the air we breathe, or the water we drink, or, you know?
Like Taco Bell beef gives me severe anxiety.
Right.
That's why my brother stopped eating Taco Bell, and it stopped giving him anxiety. So it must be something in the Taco Bell meat, the beef.
Right.
There's some type of chemical in it.
Preservatives or something. Oh, I better slow down. Remember, I almost got a ticket right here last time. Yeah, so, you know, that's the idea that I'm thinking about, is just like how much of our experience and our reality and our bodies are really one with everything around us. We're influenced physically, you know, not just that, but like DNA. Like I was saying, you know, how on crime scenes they come and they collect DNA evidence, hair and skin and nails and, you know, tiny little pieces of DNA off of other people. That's how they catch killers and stuff. Well, I mean, imagine everywhere we go, we're we're touching doorknobs and things other people have touched, and we're picking up their DNA on our hands and then rubbing our eyes or mouth or whatever. So we're getting their DNA into our body. And so that in that way we're all sort of sharing each other's DNA and stuff. It's weird.
That's why in the Bible it says we're all brothers and sisters.
I guess. We're all one, that's for sure. Yep. For sure. And then the other thing I was thinking about is I read an article last month, and it was scientists have discovered that we have lots of bacteria in our gut, our stomach, our digestive system, our lower intestines. The bacteria are what help break down food and stuff. Some of them are good, we need them, that's what keeps us healthy, and some of them are kind of bad because they harm our body. So they've been studying more and more about gut bacteria and how it creates disease and stuff. And one of the things they discovered is there's a certain bacteria in the gut that eats and thrives off GABA. Well, GABA is a neurotransmitter in the brain. How it works is it actually, when you have a lot of it, it makes you calmer. When you don't have enough of it, you have anxiety, real bad anxiety, and actually seizures. So some of the seizure medicines, like the one you take, that's what it does. It alters the GABA level in your brain so that you have more GABA.
But what happens if you have too much GABA?
Well, that doesn't really tend to happen. Usually people don't have enough.
But in my case, technically, I could have too much GABA.
If you had too much, you'd be super mellow and calm and relaxed, and you wouldn't have seizures, and things would be fine.
I was like that at one point.
So when you don't have enough GABA, it creates anxiety, panic disorder, seizures.
See, that's how you know when your drugs are working, when you're all calm and relaxed.
Well, and so some of the medications that they work, that's what they target, the GABA in the brain. So, but it's interesting that there's actually a bacteria that's in your gut, or some people have in their gut, that's what it eats, the GABA from your brain. So then scientists were wondering, well, how in the hell does this neurochemical from the brain get into the stomach? They haven't figured that part out yet. But they say,
weird.
But it just goes to show you, though, how a bacteria that's living inside your body can cause you to have anxiety and even seizures, potentially. The same thing like viruses, all those little microorganisms that get in our body. A lot of cancers, they say, are caused from viruses. So I don't know, I've just been thinking about that. I've had that on my mind, and just thinking about like how much our bodies are dependent on everything around us, everything we put into it, and everything, we're not just one organism. We have all kinds of bacteria and viruses living in us, all kinds of parasites, microorganisms, tiny little mites that live on our eyelashes. Isn't that crazy to think about that? It's kind of creepy.
It's funny because I could actually feel the little bugs on me, but you can't see them because they're so microscopic.
Yeah.
I can feel them crawl on me at night, and I'm just trying to sleep, and it's dead quiet.
Yeah? What do you mean, like itchy or?
No, I can literally feel bugs crawling on me like an ant, but then there's nothing there.
Oh.
That's how super sensitive I am. I can actually feel the little tiny bugs on me, but there's nothing there.
So what do you think about that? Do you really think it is the real thing, or what do you think is happening there? Do you really feel a bug, or your mind imagines it, or?
Technically, there are parasites on you.
Yeah.
That probably won't harm you. Some of them, like on most people.
Yep. Dust mites, and they eat skin, dead skin and stuff.
Yeah, but you can't see them.
Right. No, they're just teeny, tiny.
Microscopic.
Subatomic. Subatomic. So yeah, what about that? Now that we're talking about nighttime, and anything else you have to add about that? nighttime experiences are like.
Insomnia sucks. It's even worse on a full moon.
Well, see, that goes back into what I was saying. Like, a lot of people don't believe in astrology. They just think it's like this esoteric, crazy thing. But, I mean, if you really think about it, like the whole ocean, the tides in the ocean, right? The waves in the ocean are created, so they say, by the magnetic pull of the moon. Well,
Yeah,
our
that's
body's
what they say.
made of like 60-70% water or something like that. So if the moon can do that to the entire ocean, what does it do to our body that's also made of water?
Well, I tell people, if you never experienced it on a full moon, go. All my people say, all my like shaman friends say, don't go outside on a full moon. But if you never experienced it, go out on a full moon and experience it, see what it actually feels like. Feel the pull of it. It gives me severe anxiety. It gives me all these weird thoughts. I go outside anyway and go collect. I collect all the energy and bottle it up.
So you feel it. Do you feel it in your body, or how do you feel it?
I feel it in my body.
You feel the energy in your body. What does that feel like?
Too much. Overflowing. Almost like when you go into a room that's, you're packed. People are talking. That feeling. Or you're in your worst situation
Like
that you don't want to be in.
Yeah.
Like some people are scared of spiders. Imagine you're in a room with spiders. Full of them all over the walls, all over the doorknob. You can't grab it. You're stuck.
So just like an anxiety, an overwhelming anxiety.
Yep.
Yeah.
Till it pushes you off the edge. But I mean, I've been dealing with it for such a long time that I slowly get to control it. I can only go outside for a couple hours at night when it's a full moon.
Well, you know, when I was studying to get my degree in criminal justice, that's one of the things that we talked about was that, you know, the murder rates actually go up on nights of the full moon. Police calls like double and sometimes even triple on, you know, full moon nights.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the temperature, you know. The hotter it gets outside, the more the murder rate goes up. So it kind of goes back to what I was saying, how we're really influenced by our environment more than we, I think, sometimes realize, you know. So the moon. A lot of people take advantage of those energies, you know. They go out and do rituals or cleanse their rocks, right? Or whatever. On the full moon.
I don't cleanse my rocks anyways. Any shaman told me to. I cleanse it my own shamanism way.
Well, sometimes you gotta follow your own path.
Yep. What about a blood moon? Even worse.
The blood moon.
That shit is way too powerful right there.
That's the day Grandma died, was on the blood moon. April 14th, 2014. She died on that day.
It's like the worst thing you could have. I don't think I want to have surgery on a blood moon. When I'm spiritually open like that, because they'll be cutting up. There'll be. Oh, didn't Grandma have heart surgery?
Well, not technically heart surgery, no. Chest surgery, but not exactly on her heart, no.
You're still opening up your chest cavity. I mean, that's you're physically opening up your chakras in a drugged up state where you're not there, and you're not there to realize you're opening up your chakras when you're drugged up.
Right.
And then the blood moon comes in.
Yeah. Well, I know, but do you think that was accident?
No. I mean, I don't say the doctors killed her. I mean, I'm saying like something spiritually killed her. Something that's not supposed to be there. Wasn't Grandma only like 60?
64.
See, that's pretty young.
64, 64. Yeah, really young. I mean, her dad was that age when he passed away too, you know.
Sounds like a family tradition.
Kind of, right?
It's kind of scary.
Yeah, I mean, but Grandma's still alive. She's 93.
That's great grandma.
Yeah.
It's traditions can pass to the next generation.
Well, I mean, when you say it's scary, how is it scary? Are you like, is death scary? Dying?
Oh no, not really. I'm not scared of death.
Oh, this always is such a.
I'm scared of life.
Right here. You're scared of life.
I'm scared of life, not death.
Yeah, sometimes that's how I
Sweet.
feel too.
It's when you already witness death, like I have. I don't know. Have you?
You mean witness people die?
No. I mean, technically, I died in the hospital. I was in a coma for.
Oh, you mean witness to my own death?
Yeah, when you witness your own death, I mean, you already faced your fear. That you check that
Right.
off your bucket list.
Yes.
When
So you're not
when
afraid.
when you do
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, I'm not afraid either.
now
I haven't witnessed it like in the same way that you have, but I did when I got that blood clot in my neck. I did almost die. I felt myself dying. You know, and I've had like so many years of dealing with stage 4 cancer. You know, I mean, you know, I'm not afraid like I was at the beginning. I was very afraid at the beginning.
I hear your voice crack right there. Something you want to say?
No, it's because I still have this cough left over from my cold, and I'm froggy in the throat. That's a weird looking car.
When I talk to my therapist, well, that's electric. When I talk to my therapist, sometimes she could hear the crack in my voice. That's how she knows it's a sensitive subject.
Oh no, it's not a sensitive subject for me. I like talking about death. Actually.
Oh no, not death. I meant like other things in general.
Oh.
Other personal stuff.
Well, you were saying because I was talking about death, my throat was cracking. It was just because I still got that cough. Do you still have your cough a little bit? Yeah. See, it's gone for a while.
That's a smoker's cough.
Anyway, yeah, I'm not afraid of death. I think Grandma knew, you know. She came to me in a dream not long after she died. And, you know, basically, I don't know, maybe she didn't consciously know, but on some level she knew. And I don't think it was an accident. You know, she died exactly when she was supposed to die. I think it's weird because her birthday is 9/9/49, and she died 4/14/14.
That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. There's something to that. For sure. Yep. But she's around. She's around. She's around. So what else?
Palm readers.
Talking about dead people, kind of.
What about palm psychics?
Psychics. Well, I kind of been thinking about that lately too, like different ways of seeing. Because you told me like last week, if you don't mind me sharing, about how you were seeing dead people again, and you said they were coming.
These are more vivid.
Right, and you were saying how they were coming to you, showing you like the state that they were in when they died, right?
Oh, that was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah. I was thinking about that this week and how I've interacted with a lot of dead people.
My first one I ever seen was a murder case.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me it was a little girl or something, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
little blonde girl. Probably 6 or 7 years old. Remember that shit clearly. It's weird. It's like, it's weird. It was like, I don't know. Well, she must have found help because she never came back to me. Must have found the light because she doesn't bug me or anything. That was
That's
like
interesting.
That was like a year ago.
What's interesting to me is how people have different ways of like seeing and knowing. Like you visually see when these entities come to you, these dead people, you visually see them.
It's even better at night. See, the funny thing is with Susan, at Susan's house, where does she live again?
Somewhere down by San Marcos, right?
Well, before, okay, so I was like smoking a cigarette on her back porch, and there's property all around her.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I heard voices, and and then I look around the corner, and I see like an old like sheriff or something talking to a slave in chains.
Yeah.
And then they're working, and I could hear them talking, and then like I went to go tell Susan, and Susan said, "Oh, that's funny, because this was used to be an old slave land."
Oh.
So I thought it was ironic.
Huh. Right. So, but yeah. So you were when you were on her property.
I didn't even know, and then I literally witnessed it for my own eyes before I even.
That's so cool when you have like that confirmation that what you're experiencing is real, right?
Yeah.
But you got 10 minutes, 8. You want to go smoke?
I have no cigarettes.
Oh. But anyway, it's interesting because you see. You're a seer, and I don't tend to be a seer. I get my information in a kind of a different way. But I was thinking about that too, how people just experience things different and get information differently. You're very different than me. You see colors and you feel the energies, the vibrations.
I can also see the neurons in the back of my eyes. Which is, you know what I'm talking about? The little white dots? They kind of look like sperm cells.
Oh. Huh.
They're like swimming, and I could see all these weird patterns. Like.
Right, yeah. I don't know if that's the neurons, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Well, if you watch like an eye video, and then there's something in the eye video when you watch about your eyes, one of the parts they talk about is what I see.
Oh.
Something I'm not supposed to see, which is weird.
Oh. It's weird. Does it bother you?
No.
You're probably used to it.
Yep. I remember that time I was going blind in one eye. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on, but I was going blind in one eye.
Yep.
Literally. And then my other eye does it, and then I'm like literally blind, and it's like all fuzzy, and I'm like, whoa, what happened?
You have a lot of like neurological symptoms, right? But the neurologist says, oh, it's psychiatric, right? And then the psychiatrist says, no, it's neurological, right? You have a lot of symptoms like that.
It's because doctors don't know what's wrong.
like when you see yourself, the times that you've actually seen yourself, like, right?
Mm-hmm.
They call those autoscopic hallucinations, but they're not psychiatric. You know, they're actually neurological. They're in the same category as like near-death experience or something. It's a more neurological sort of thing.
If it's a near-death, then I died so many times.
No, I'm not saying it's near-death. I'm saying it's in the same category as a near-death experience. In other words, like it's more, the neurologists consider it more of a brain neurology problem than psychiatric. Like, oh, you're psychotic. The autoscopic hallucinations, they don't consider that psychosis. It's a whole different thing. Like seeing yourself. Because people who are schizophrenic and have visual hallucinations, they don't see themselves.
How long are usually your videos?
However long.
All right.
You want to stop?
I mean, I'll be back in an hour.
Okay.
Ish.
See ya.
Or less.
Have a good session.
Alright. Thanks, fun.
All right. Conversations with Jared. I love it when he shares. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am.
These people will look watch.
Mm-hmm.